Good morning and welcome to Sanofi's booth. Very excited to be here today, also to have you, because this is important. Without you, we can't exist here at VivaTech. So thank you very much for being with us to discover exciting innovation and how AI is used in the whole process of medical treatments and also organization of Sanofi, and we will talk about that all in AI. That's actually almost, we can say, a DNA now. And how do we change an organization with AI? A great success, obviously, in manufacturing and supply. And to talk about that, please welcome our next speakers, the head of Digital Accelerator of Manufacturing and Supply, Jakob, Harttung.
Hello, Christine. Good to be back on stage with you.
Good
and welcome, everyone.
Yeah, good to be back as well. Good to have you back. So let's start with an important topic. Jakob, the purpose of Sanofi, how has it been evolving?
So indeed, we redefined our purpose slightly. Of course, improving people's lives, patients, public health has always been in our DNA and hopefully every biopharma company. On our side, we wanted to emphasize our belief in the miracles of science, and so we added this driven R&D into our purpose and statement in there. And then, of course, we've got AI.
So what role is AI playing?
So once again, we have a deep belief in the transformative power of AI to the point of putting it into our purpose statement. But instead of directly answering you, we're going to ask Concierge. Concierge is our internal agent, and so we should get an answer.
Our ambition is to become the first pharma company powered by artificial intelligence, giving our people tools and technologies that focus on insights and allow them to make better everyday decisions.
Well, I like the voice, and I understand we will have AI along the whole session with us, isn't it? So you told me basically that the purpose has changed. What is the ambition? What does it mean for manufacturing and supply?
So as you heard, our concierge companion said that we wanted to be the first biopharma company powered by AI at scale. Both are important, both the scale and AI. I could talk a lot about it, but maybe instead of sort of giving theoretical explanations, we're going to go into a concrete example and look at what it means across the manufacturing and supply value chain of actually working with AI and how we see that. And as a first element, we'll imagine a situation where we have an ongoing clinical trial where we're getting some great results with extraordinary new patient benefits. And then what do we do about it?
Did you catch that? Nexus, the study targeting the new indications, is showing remarkable results.
Yes, they really are. In fact, they were so strong that the health authorities in 2 different countries decided to approve our submission earlier than expected.
That's a fantastic news. Now, let's make sure our colleagues from M&S can deliver the product to patients on time, in full, and with the right quality.
I think you love challenges at Sanofi, yeah?
We love challenges, and that is the most exciting challenge we can actually have. We have new indication, new opportunity to treat patients, deliver new benefits to patients on unmet needs. Now, of course, the challenge is how do we make sure that we actually have the ability to supply these medicines to patients? And in order to that, well, we have to mobilize across the full manufacturing and supply organization. The first question we're going to have is, what is our level of ability to deliver? What is our inventory? Do we have enough stock to do that? In order to help us on that, we have another agent, which is our inventory optimizer agent, and we're going to ask it for advice on where we should focus, what we should be doing. So this is the application that we use with the agent behind it. It looks across the board in terms of what are the key opportunities, where can we improve, what are the challenges, the bottlenecks, and then we get advice.
The inventory optimizer simulated multiple supply scenarios. The fastest way to increase stock and supply the patients in those 2 countries has been selected. We have enough active ingredient thanks to the good performance in our modulus facility, but we need to expand our vial filling capacity.
I understand you can have a real conversation with AI, actually, yeah?
It's increasingly a real conversation, and when you develop this as agents, then it becomes something which is much more interactive and conversational. Indeed, we get insights, we get recommendations. In the end, it is of course still us that make the decisions on what we should be doing, but we do that with a much better visibility on what is actually possible and what makes sense. Here we got some clear advice on what are the key challenges where we should focus, but maybe just let's deep dive a bit into the value chain and look at where are the key opportunities and how is the status of what we can do. So,
Well, in Modulus, thanks to Simply, our tool AI-enabled, we analyzed the main process parameters and improved the yield by 10%. For the active ingredient, our process robustness is fully under control.
Just to come back to Modulus, because maybe not everybody knows what we're talking about.
exactly, and that is a good thing. So Modulus is a new facility we have just opened last year. It is our most modern, most digitalized facility. And one of the key elements of that facility is it is extremely modular and flexible. We can produce multiple different vaccines or biopharma medicines in it, change over extremely quickly. And if you want to know more about it, we have a great booth over there where you can actually see the demonstration of what that facility looks like and how we operate it. It is our most modern, and which enables us to have higher agility to deliver medicines faster and sooner to our patients.
And tell me, oh yeah, you want to, no, you're good.
And I just had a few from there.
Yeah.
What you saw here also is another of our AI capabilities, which is a solution we call Simply. We use that to analyze all of the different production parameters within a facility, understand how we can improve both the yield, which is the amount of drug substance we get out of each production runs, as well as ensuring that the process robustness, meaning that we never have batch failures, we always are successful in every production run, how that can be improved. AI drives us towards the optimal place of operation and secures the delivery of that part of the value chain, so we are safe and secure on the drug substance component.
So let's maybe check the status of the filling performance that you were
And indeed, the
mentioning.
next step is the filling. In the overall pharma value chain, you start with creating the drug substance, and then you create a pharmaceutical product. Usually it will be syringes, vials, or something equivalent, and that is the next stage, which is the filling and packaging stage. So let's go to that one now.
Well, we've already made solid progress. With the support of McLaren, we've boosted our overall equipment efficiency by 12%. In practical terms, that means 12% more effective production time on our lines every day. I could say we are now in pole position for the efficiency.
So talking about McLaren, tell us, why on earth are we talking about McLaren in a pharmaceutical company?
Yes, so our partnership with McLaren has been absolutely great. We started 3 years ago, and we've done extraordinary things with them. We share a common passion for excellence, but they also bring us a certain number of elements around a focus on performance, a focus on improving, getting that last millisecond on the trip around the tour and the race. And so we work with them in order to focus on improving the performance of our production lines, either on that mindset, but also on technology. We've been working with them, for instance, on installing new types of sensors, using high-frequency cameras to troubleshoot an issue on a production line. And also, more interestingly, we actually set up internally a championship across our manufacturing sites on best performance. And we're running that as a championship with McLaren helping us actually organize that and focus on the competitive spirit between sites, friendly competitive spirit, but still a competition across site and focusing across the board on improving our performance. And that's how we get that kind of result. 12 points of improvement OEE may not seem a lot, but it is actually massive. And it improves the output, improves our ability to deliver medicines to patients, which is once again what we're trying to do.
And there's something about the colors, and we can see actually the car. This car is the one that is displayed there. We have a special color. Tell
We
us
have a
about
special color, but we'll get to that later. You're
Okay.
running ahead of time.
Okay, so let's talk about that later. Let's
Because
listen to that.
we are still on the production here. We haven't delivered to patients yet. And so let's look at the next steps. After the actual filling process, what are the other opportunities for improvement?
Yes, I'm confident. With DVSM, our digital value stream mapping tool for supply chain, we saw that we could reduce the lead time from production start to shipment readiness by 20%. That means more products, delivered faster to patients, without compromising quality.
Well, I hope they don't compromise quality.
Quality is always our priority number one, of course. And we don't forget, but it's always good to have remembering that. Thank you, Agent, for reminding us of that. Always do that. Please continue doing so. Feedback loop is important. So we're not compromising on quality, but that, of course, doesn't mean we can't improve efficiency. And there are multiple things that you can do in efficiency, but instead of trying to find out myself, let's ask the agent what we can do.
As your AI assistant, I recommend starting by reducing production deviations. They are the primary source of delays. I also suggest streamlining mandatory quality controls to accelerate release times. Those times are 30% above best in class. Moreover, I strongly advise opening a second production line to deliver this unexpected demand. This would significantly enhance supply resilience.
Hey, come on. No, okay, deviations is a good idea, automation or quality control, but you know, setting up a new production line, it takes ages.
But
Actually, does it take ages?
it takes less time, apparently, doesn't it?
How long do you think it takes to set up a production line?
And how much we replicate it? Let's say, how many people would say 3 months here? How many people would say 3 months? 6 months? 12 months? Yeah? 24 months?
We've
Well,
got people working in pharma here.
Maybe. So what's the actual score?
So it's usually for 24 months indeed. So not necessarily an easy solution to help us in delivering to patients here. But why did you suggest that, Agent?
Yes, Frank. It used to take around 24 months. But now, thanks to two powerful tools, the digital twin and AI, integrated into our MSAT reports, we've brought that down to just 18 months.
So I understand there's a micro mistake here.
Yeah.
You're not Frank.
I'm not Frank, I'm Jakob.
You're Jakob.
Agent, please remember next time, Frank was yesterday. Don't hallucinate those things, we'll be okay. It's not perfect yet, we'll get there one day. But indeed, here we have a very interesting solution that the agent reminded us of. We've created a full digital twin of a filling line that enables us to do complete simulation, optimize, run, test the integration of a new product on the line in a virtual environment, so that when we actually do it on the line, it works right first time automatically, and that's how we will save time. So this is a great opportunity to actually deliver faster to patients. And in this case, it is a solution that we are building within the digital accelerator that we just launched. We are creating other capabilities focused on transferring a new product to a line, what we call a tech transfer. And among the first elements of that digital accelerator, which I have the honor and happiness of heading, and we launched it in May. So great opportunity moving forward also for us.
And it's based in Lyon, actually. How many of those do you have?
So the new accelerator for manufacturing and supply is based in Lyon. We've got 2 others based in Paris. First one created 3 years ago, focusing on patient experience and commercial activities, and the other one created last year, focusing on research and development. So we've got 3 now. Great work, very great on accelerating what we're delivering to our operations and to our patients. So wonderful experience.
That's fantastic. And with all this, what we have said, what's the key takeaways that we have to have in mind?
I think the key takeaways that we have to have in mind is that we are seeing AI optimize across the value chain, giving us better insights, better decisions, enabling us to be faster and better in what we do. Of course, we don't give over to AI completely. We maintain the decisions on our point. And also, more importantly, this is not about the technology. We're not talking about technology here. We are talking about how we change how we operate, and especially how do we deliver medicines to patients faster and better and with better safety and quality for those patients. And that's what we're focusing on. We're seeing the AI technology improve every day, which is wonderful. But above all, we're seeing how we will fundamentally change how we operate and what we'll be able to deliver for patients.
And this will be evolving a lot, actually, also, yeah?
And it will be evolving a lot, and we are far from over. We also have increasing elements of how we are optimizing fully across the value chain, how we optimize the launches within a country in order to ensure that the doses get to the right patients first. So wonderful new opportunities that we see ahead. And you talked about the colors.
Yes, exactly. What we see these athletes, you know, you recognize some of them, yeah? So basically, why are we talking about them on Sanofi, and what about the colors? We have the pins here as well.
Yeah, so the colors are the meningitis flag, which is a shout out to raise awareness on this terrible disease, which is still creating a lot of suffering across the world, and with patients that have very difficult lives afterwards. But it is preventable. And we want to make sure that that gets out. And so we have indeed supported this initiative around the flag. If you look at the car, you'll see that it also has the colors of the flag beyond the McLaren livery colors normally. And this is an extraordinary fight to defeat meningitis and a great opportunity, an example of what we've been talking about, which is how do we bring medicines to patients and the treatments in the best possible conditions.
And obviously, this car will be running actually for meningitis on Saturday at Le Mans, isn't it?
And will win. We are absolutely sure they will win.
That's great. Thank you very much. A great applause to you. Thank you. Do we have questions in the audience? Any questions? Well, I do have one question about, we use AI a lot, you use AI, that's really very interesting, and how conversational and how evolutive it can be. Talking about manufacturing and supply, obviously, how can you ensure the development is going well, the dosage is going well? Because we talked at some point about hallucination of AI. How are you making sure about that?
So we have a very strong internal program in ensuring that we use AI in responsible and ethical ways. So that is the first element. And we do evaluations, training on these opportunities. Also, you've probably heard me say several times that in the end, we remain in the decision at the end. The agent, the AI, will deliver insights and recommendations, but we maintain the final decision, and we will continue doing that for some time. It will be people working with AI, not AI working alone. And the other element, which is potentially one of the more interesting topics for manufacturing supply, is that we are grounded in reality. We've got physical reality on the ground, and that helps us also to react and make sure that whatever happens in the AI stays grounded in a reality, which is the physical things that are actually happening on the shop floor in the factories.
So human beings are still very important, basically.
Absolutely, and always will be.
Of course. One question? Bring close, very close.
So my question will be...
Don't touch, they will open it.
Okay.
Yes.
So to empower AI, we need data. So can you describe us a little bit the effort you have put on harmonization on the data of manufacturing supply, and how the team work on the modelization of the production, for example?
Excellent question. And you're right that without data, of course, we wouldn't be doing a lot. We started a long time ago on our data journey for AI. We created our first global industrial data lake 7 years ago, bringing into that environment the full spectrum of operational data coming from the different systems and some operational data coming from equipment. We are on a new iteration now, the second generation, using a new data layer that we've recreated, where we are really harmonizing the full structures across all of our different factories and operations, also bringing in a lot more equipment data, the time series from sensors within the equipment, and making that available as a standard foundation layer. Does it mean it's perfect? Of course not. But we have one common environment where we can, for each of the different factories, use the same infrastructure, the same data models, and the same data layer in order to make these kind of capabilities work. And then the more we use AI on top of it, the more we are actually improving the quality of that data, making sure that we make the right corrections in there. Still a work in progress. We'll probably never get fully in there, but it is a strategy engaged a long time ago in creating a common data foundation layer across the organization.
Other questions?
I'm sorry. My question is going to be englobed in three.
Bring it really close, very
yeah,
close.
so
Thank you.
he started his question with data, and if you're going to talk about Gen AI, for example, it's important to have data, but also you're going to build on either large language models that are open source, or you're going to be building your own in-house. So probably you opted for fine-tuning, right, at first, and then when it comes to deployment. Did you have to opt for cloud solutions or on-prem solutions? If you're going to say on-prem solutions, we're going to talk about GPUs and power in the house, and I would love to know more about that and how many GPUs you had to be using, particularly.
Wonderful questions. I'll try to remember all of them. It's very much work in progress and moving, and we'll probably be changing strategy a few times down the line. I probably shouldn't say too much because I've got my colleagues who make the decisions for me. But anyway, for the moment, we are essentially working in a cloud environment for the moment as the easiest way of doing it. We have not developed yet open source solutions or installations locally, but we are not doing yet any kind of AI, generative AI, which is close to the shop floor and actually live. So we're still mainly on a decision inside recommendation mode, working in a cloud environment and using those capabilities for that. We're experimenting with different language models. We started experimenting with fine-tuning some small language model in specific areas, such as scientific optimization and other kind of things. But it changes every month.
Any other question?
Hi, hello. So I want to ask about how you handle change management in the organization. What about people and staff?
Well, we were talking about organization, obviously. Thank you.
Why do you ask difficult questions? No. I could talk a lot about change management, trust, we're putting trust into the AI systems we're building. But in the end, the main way we handle change management is to create solutions that actually help people deliver what they want to deliver. And when we have clarity that we are helping what our goal is, which is to deliver medicines to patients, when we help people do their daily job, the actual change management of that becomes a lot easier. We're not pushing things on them. We are creating capabilities that support what they are doing today and helping them do it better. And focusing on the user experience on the shop floor, focusing on the understanding of how this actually helps them do what they have to do, is probably the most effective way we have of doing it. And we're experimenting. Part of what we do in Accelerator is quick iterations of experimentation, creating something, putting it in the hands of the shop floor and the users, seeing how it works and iterating fast behind it, changing with them, and so delivering the change management by essentially changing the solutions also at the same pace. And that's why we created these accelerators also, which is we need to have that pace and speed of execution in order to experiment, learn, and improve. And that's the only way we can actually make those changes happen. If we come up with a 200 pages PowerPoint slide and saying this is how you're going to work tomorrow, it will not happen. So acceleration, experimentation, and feedback from the actual users.
I think there was one other question just next to you. Yes, thank you.
Hi. My question is around, do you have a prioritization process in place around use cases or how you actually spend your resources?
Yes. Is she around? No, I should get somebody up on here to say yeah. We have a balance between trying to have experimentation as locally as possible because we know that people on the shop floor know what they need. At the same time, there are so many different opportunities, we need to focus our resources. So we have set up on most AI scenarios, and specifically on Gen AI scenarios, one single common process of prioritizing the opportunities and use cases, and essentially going after the truly big buckets. What is fundamentally transformative? Among the cases here is, if we can deliver medicines to patients 6 months earlier, that is worth working on. If we're talking about, oh, why do I not optimize my report that I was bothered doing yesterday, maybe not as interesting. So focusing on the big buckets with one global prioritization exercise, and then we have some freedom of experimentation, typically using Concierge, our internal agent, which does deliver a lot of capabilities already if you start using it in the right way. And thank you for the question.
One last question, maybe? Well, thank you very much again. Great applause to you. Thank you. And thank you, dear audience.
Thank you.
And of course, we can still have a chat with you. You can visit also the booth. Plenty of things to discover. We're talking about manufacturing and supplies. We have a corridor from R&D, research and development, to the patient. Thank you very much to all. See you back here on stage at 2. Enjoy your meal, and please don't hesitate to visit us. Thank you.
And it's me again at 2.